All right, fellas. So we're gonna go ahead and take a look at the progress that we're making with the Arizona Cardinals playbook in terms of installing a Cowboys themed offense. And as luck would have it, playing against the Cardinals. We're gonna skip all the defense and fast forward to offense. All right, fellas. So the focus of this video, while we will still be using open flex a good bit, I'm going to be jumping in some other formations more than I have been. And I'm actually freestyling those formations to get a feel for them and then take them into the lab later on. I managed to get a good bit going on in this game, so I figured I'd put it on video for you guys. So we put our tight end on the drag here. We put the outside bunch receiver on the curl. And then you see we got a good high low with the drag and the curl both kind of on the backside. So that gives us really good reads. Even against man, we were able to go ahead and get an easy pickup. You can imagine that we'll really do well against zone. So we'll absolutely be looking at that and taking that into the lab and tweaking it some to make sure we can get it perfect, I guess, or as close to perfect as it can get. So now we're setting up our audibles and gun open flex. I think we went with dagger and double post to start this game. We're in our 11 personnel to start as well. We're just going to go ahead and hit the dive because it was there, right? And we managed 3 yards. As always now, remember these modest gains are important. We don't have to get a first down every time we snap the ball. We're staying ahead of the chains if we're getting 3 and 4 yards of a play. I would rather be in 3rd and 4, 3rd and 3 than 3rd and 7, of course. So now you see we come out in a double slope. I'm going to go ahead and get over to trips. So this is something, as I've said before, that the Cowboys do a good bit. But I definitely shouldn't have made that pass. So I was fortunate to get away with that one. Opponent using cover 6. You'll see he tends to mix it up a little bit. If I recall correctly, he was using a good deal of cover 6 and cover 9 though, trying to disguise his coverages because he did also mix in cover 2. We bounced this one to the outside. It was a good move and pick up a few extra yards. So now we're going to go ahead and jump in doubles wire off close. You see we put in our heavy personnel. So when we do that, we'll have Pollard in the slot and Zeke in the backfield. If we're in 11 personnel, we'll switch up which backs in the backfield depending on how the game's going and what it is we need situationally. Now we're going to go ahead and try this jet sweep. I absolutely need to get a better feel for this jet sweep. I've used it a couple times in game. I haven't really labbed it, and every time I'm in game using it, I'm making that wrong read, and I know it should be better than it is, especially since I have 2 tight ends out there, and one of them is flex back off the line, so I should definitely get good blocking. So I think it's user error more than anything. But you see this is going to be impossible to stop right here. I'm looking for that out route. He gets bumped, so I'm going to look at those 2 receivers coming under. The first one draws attention. The second one draws a touchdown. That's going to be money every time. All right, so our second possession of this game. And we're going to come out banging one time in our empty quads. Because like I said, this game was really about making sure we use some of these other formations so we can get y'all some footage. So you see we put Coop on his apprentice post because we saw that it was a cover 0. And we had some underneath routes just in case we needed to get the ball out quick. We managed to get Coop over the top for a big gain. And we're going to keep stressing his defense. He doesn't look like he knows how to handle these quads formations, which a lot of people aren't going to. You're going to have people default into man coverage because they know with 4 receivers on the same side of the field, you're going to destroy zone. And I'm going to go back to that same look. So now his user's ready for it, you see. So he actually jumps back to the crosser. So, hey, we're not going to be greedy. We absolutely give the ball to our tight end and take our 8 yards. And here we're going to go ahead and get in wing flex week. I absolutely need to go ahead and start labbing these wing formations because I love the wing formations, but Dallas actually uses more wing looks than any other team in the league. Statistically, they have their 2 tight ends next to each other in formation more than any other team in the league. So we have to make sure we're incorporating it probably as the next priority needs to be those formations. So you see, the first time I ran that RPO, I didn't even hand it off because I didn't realize it was one of the ones where you had to hold the running backs button. So those are things that happen when you lab in game as opposed to in the lab. But it's all good. We figured it out. We got it right the second time. Now we go ahead and hit Zeke on the flat, get ourselves a touchdown. So these wing formations are very, very good. Just got to make sure we're labbing them. All right, so we're going to got ourselves a turnover. This was one of those games that actually looked like some of the Cowboys games this year, where the first half we were allowing somebody who isn't as good as we are. No offense, the dude is definitely a quality opponent, but I allowed him to hang around longer than he should have. I made a couple silly mistakes. You'll see. I think it might be this possession or the next possession. All right, so now we're coming out in open flex. We have our 12 personnel out there. We do throw the rock when we have our 12 personnel out, but keep in mind, we are going to get better blocking when we have them out there as well. So we go ahead, we hit the dive. And Tony Pollard so far, 2 rushes for 15 yards, so he's looking good. And we're going to jump back in our doubles wide off close. And because we're at the 7-yard line, we're not going to put in our 11 personnel. We're just going to go ahead and run it until he can stop it. And if he can, then we'll just keep running it, because that's what this offense is about. So Zeke Powell's ahead, pick up 4 yards. We just gonna go ahead. If you insist on staying in this front, then we'll just go ahead and keep running it. Get the 2-minute warning. Had I realized I was that close to the 2-minute warning, which I should have, because I should have been aware of the clock, I wouldn't have motioned that player. That's okay. Now I'm gonna go ahead and motion somebody away from the line just to give them something to think about, like I might actually be passing it. Makes no difference, of course, because Zeke can, thanks to the way Madden plays this year, carry 4 and 5 guys into the end zone with him. We'll take the touchdown. Don't necessarily like that Madden allows us to do that, but they can do it to me too, so it is fair. It's just kind of silly. All right, so we gave up a quick one to our opponent that time. I don't even really remember what it was. I think he went empty and just went over my head. Well, now we're gonna go ahead and get into. I think I might run one out of split slot, and then I get over to slot offset to start doing some of the auto motion, orbit, or halfback swing screen. Some people call it different things, of course. Yeah, I think we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna look for Zeke and CD if Zeke isn't there, and Zeke was there, so we'll go ahead and take that. It's a nice little play action. Yeah, so we'll get over into slot offset, and where are we starting? Oh, we start with the spot again. But we see that he's coming out in a single high, so Coop's gonna have to come off that route. We'll just put Coop on an out route, and we'll go ahead and take this quick first down. We got 44 seconds to go in the half. We got plenty of time. We don't have to force anything. So we're gonna jump back into open flex. I think we're gonna change our personnel back to 11 because we got some 68 yards to drive the field with 43 seconds. A little bit of speed might make some sense. It looks like he might be in a cover 2. He was definitely doing some cover 6 and cover 9 show too, so I'm not exactly sure. This might have been cover 3 if I recall correctly, actually. But in either case, I didn't like the way that looked, so I managed to sneak one in on that backside dig. A better user might have at least broken that up, and quite possibly it was a cover 9 show too, by the way. Quite possibly a better user could have picked that off. I know I pride myself. I think I would have been able to pick that off had somebody thrown that against me. So I got away with one there. Now I think this might be the one. No, we're gonna hit the out route here. You're gonna see me. You're gonna see me very soon on this drive. I make 2 crucial mistakes where I could have put this game away early. And I think the first mistake is right here. Yeah. See, so I make the right adjustment putting Coop on this route, and I absolutely read him too late and caught the ball just out of the back of the end zone. That was supposed to be a touchdown. No doubt about it. But hey, you win some, you lose some, right? Here we go. So we're gonna try it again. Of course, he's not gonna give it to us again. He would be silly to do that. So we're waiting on that outside route from the tight end. It's a very good late read. I really do like these empty formations. The more I'm using them, I'm sorry, the empty quad formations. The more I'm using them. Okay, so we are staying. Oh, this is where I make the crucial mistake right here. You're gonna see. I'm gonna throw a pick. Now I have CD Lamb on an out route on the right hand side, but I think it's a cloud, so I'm gonna go ahead and put Coop on an out route, and I force it to him as opposed to hitting was it Gallup who was on the second of those in routes. So that's my bad. And guess what? He took it all the way back to the house. He didn't celebrate though, so I tell you what, I like this guy. So starting the third quarter, this game's 21-0 when it really should have been 28-14. But that's it. I mean, that's how the game goes, right? We make mistakes. Your opponent capitalizes. This is why you gotta laugh these things. And of course, in the beginning stages of running a new offense, those things happen. You're putting your foot on the gas, maybe you shouldn't be. But here we go now. We're gonna settle down and come back to our base offense for a minute, just to kind of get the wind back in our sails. Sometimes it feels like the boat isn't moving. So we'll go ahead and make sure we can just pick up a little bit of um, momentum. But that's nice. So we got a first down. We're gonna go with the dagger play, and that tight end is usually money. He gets open against a lot of things. The out route from that position is just it's sneaky good, but I don't want to be in open flats too much. So here we go. We're gonna jump into doubles offset weak. We're gonna grab that double cross, and we are not gonna audible. I don't think. I think we actually run this. And one thing you'll notice when we're actually trying to run a real world scheme, we're finding a lot of plays that don't need many adjustments or audibles to actually work. A lot of times when we're making all of those audibles and adjustments, it's because we know what glitches out Madden, but we're not running a glitch out Madden offense. We're running a real world Dallas Cowboys offense. So if we're making any adjustments, it's really just to how would I say enhance a real world concept or to make something that might not necessarily work out as well as it should to make it work out a little bit better. But I'm not going to be motioning over slants, under crosses, and the typical things people are doing PA post shot. I'm not going to do that. So now we're in doubles, and we are going to go right ahead and jump into a wing set, and we're just going to run it to grab our first down. See, so you can see how it's a dangerous thing that the Cowboys do when they're using these two tight ends because you very much are a threat to pass the rock just as much as you are to run it. So you just look at the defense and say, hey, what is it you're giving me? Okay, this is what I'm going to take. And that's why Kellen Moore says we aggressively take whatever the defense gives us because you literally put yourself in position to be able to do just that. And that's our purpose, that's our focus, that's our goal. So I'm jumping back in open flags, right? Still run the dive here. Yeah, we run the dive. Good blocking. Yeah, that's a good 13 yards, I think. So you see both our guys are doing good on the ground. I think we switched to the toss now after that pinch. That pinch is actually sneaky good though because it doesn't move the dudes on the outside. Those outside linebackers still stay and keep that edge, that contain. We still managed 7 yards, but that's actually a really good. That would have been an opportunity to maybe try that counter. So I gotta keep that in mind, and I definitely wanna try that in game. I have yet to try it in game. And I'm not worried about how stacked the box is here because I got two tight ends on the line of scrimmage. So let's just go man up and hat on a hat. Let's do it. You know what it is? So we won that round. I think he wins this round. We're gonna run it right back at him, and his user gets off his block, creates a little bit of havoc, and the AI is who actually got through to me. But if you look again, his user getting off his block is what really caused some disruption there. So that was good on his behalf. Now we're gonna slip back into open flags. And one thing we don't want to do is we don't want to get scared into doing something silly. We don't want to say, okay, we're gonna have to throw the ball just because we got stopped in a second and goal at the 10. Not at all. Not at all. We are not afraid to run this ball. We are not afraid to put ourselves in favorable position. If it means you're settling for a field goal, take your field goal, take your points. We got to play smart football. And our third and goal from the 6. And I do know one thing: deep digs are absolute gold. Period. But down here at the goal line, you guys have heard me say it for over a year now. Ever since I started making videos, I've been talking about deep digs in the inside the 10-yard line. So if you don't know, you want to have a deep dig from one of your outside receivers. Pretty much everybody else you're going to put on an underneath route. Lamb, I'll leave where he is because he's so far away from the deep dig and he's coming the opposite way that he'll draw the user's attention if nothing else. And it looked like our opponent might have run commit, so he made it a little bit easy. Oh, I'm sorry. He made it a whole lot easier for us. So we'll take our touchdown. We'll keep it moving. All right, so we managed to get a fumble on Kyler Murray inside our opponent's territory. We're going to go ahead and jump to this I form. I've used this a couple times in game, and it's actually a really good run. Zone runs from I form. I would have told you guys this before, but in my Seattle offense, I learned that the zone runs in I form this year are just absolute monsters. I mean, you gash people when you call those at the right time. Versus engage 8, I mean, it's hit or miss, but for the most part, it's a really good one. So we can see the coverage backed off. So we're going to play smart. We're going to go ahead and we're going to put Coop on the backside, dig, and put Lamb on a smart route. Allow Gallup to carry coverage up, and we'll go ahead and hit Lamb for an easy first down. I think we stay in gun slot offset here, and we go ahead and hit that read bubble or zone weak, one of the two. But we're absolutely gonna run the ball here when we fake this. Oh, actually, you know what? Because of his coverage, I threw the screen. I intended to run it, but he gave us a look that made more sense to throw the screen. We throw the screen, and it makes us a nice little highlight, right? So we'll take that. Good touchdown. Let's keep it moving. So our opponent scored, and I was actually shocked that he kicked the ball to me because there isn't a chance in hell that you're gonna stop me right now. I'm kind of in this zone. You see, I'm still labbing though. I mean, pistol trips left open. I haven't taken a snap from this the whole of Madden 22, but we're having fun out here, right? I mean, we're labbing. This is what it's about. I've lost games like this. I've absolutely given up 2-score leads in the fourth quarter, um, just by running random stuff when I'm ahead and I'm labbing. But when you're labbing, you put yourself in a state of mind where the most important thing is getting some experience with these plays, getting some film that you can go back and review. So that matters more than winning when you're labbing. Of course, if you can get the dub too, you take it. And we're gonna get the dub right now. So here we're gonna go with the dive. And that's easy. That was a big hole. So we just go ahead and take that. Thank you very much. Cover 6. So he's back to those. Split coverages. You see the coverage 6. So there's that pinch again. We're going to go ahead and try to toss against it again, and he blows it up. Absolutely blows it up. Good defense on his half. Again, cover Nacho too. See, so he was enjoying those coverages. And the more we get in the lab, of course, the more we're looking to say, okay, I know exactly what I want to run against this, exactly what I want to run against that, and so on. But right now, we got no problem saying, hey, if you're going to have all these big dudes in the game, good luck keeping up with Tony Pollard out of the backfield. There isn't a linebacker in the game, outside of maybe Michael Parsons, who plays for my defense, that's going to keep up with Tony Pollard. Actually, to be fair, Isaiah Simmons, who is on the Cardinals defense, is just as fast as well. Anyway, we'll go ahead and hit him with the dive again. He did a better job defending it that time, but at this point, we're really just trying to run this clock out and game's over. So hats off to my opponent. It was a good game. He definitely played valiantly, but go Cowboys. He called a timeout. I guess he wanted one last chance to maybe try to strip it and run it back. I really thought about throwing the flat here, but it's so risky. And I feel like the way Madden goes, I would have thrown an interception and he would have taken it down for 7 and then gone for 2 and beat me. So I said, you know what? Let's just run the ball and play smart. It's not even playing safe. Play smart. So let's take a quick peek at the stats. You see, it actually looks very real world like 19 for 22, 4 touchdowns, and 1 interception. Both my running backs with a little bit over 60 yards. You see my receivers. This is very cowboy like, balanced offense, everybody eating. So that's a lot of fun. Give me some feedback. Let me know what you guys think.